In the words of Coach Mora, playoffs. Let's talk about. Folks, welcome to the Baseball Brewhaha. We got a fun topic to talk about today. Maybe there's controversy, maybe there's not, but we got to talk about the playoffs. We've got uh, we've got some. I don't know why this came up for me recently, Adam, but I started thinking about old-time playoffs, the fact that there were none. Then you had a little bit of playoffs, grew in 95.
Mhm.
We had a wild card, and then it grew again. And then a couple years ago, it grew again. Now you got 6 teams from each league getting in. So here's what I want to talk about, Adam. What do you like? Which playoff style do you like? Do you prefer? Is there memories tied to it? I want to hear about. Let's talk playoffs and what's the best setup.
What a great topic. I wasn't sure quite where we were going with playoffs. You put that out there. But the when I think about the old time, we did a recent trivia question about the 1960s, and you think about you just got the regular season AL winner, the regular season NL winner, go to the World Series, and that's it.
Mhm.
A little bit anticlimactic, really.
Well, yeah, and part of that is because that one of the things that got me thinking about this is like, I mean, for 3/4 of the teams, those the games are meaningless
Yeah.
after, you get to like August and you're playing out the string for 2 months.
Yeah.
You have absolutely nothing. 3/4 of the league has nothing to play for.
Yeah, that's really rough, and that's kind of the direction that I'm going here is,
Mhm.
and I keep try and keep multiple
Yeah,
perspectives
for sure.
and hold those at the same time.
Hmm.
And it's hard to avoid the fact um that for multiple perspectives and multiple reasons, having an expanded playoff, and this is where we can get into how much does it expand.
Hmm.
Having an expanded playoff is better for everybody. It's better for fans. It's better for players. It's better for team revenue.
Hmm.
It's better for the appeal of the game and trying to grow the game.
Yeah.
It's better all around. And you look at this past season, for example, and even the past couple seasons with the expanded playoff, most teams, I would, well over
The,
half the
yeah.
teams are
Yeah.
still playing relevant baseball into
Yep.
August.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. The thing that I was thinking about was a couple of things. One is that in the up through much of the 1960s, you only had 8 teams per league. So it wasn't like it is now where you have 16 per and you're like one, that's a whole
Yeah.
different thing. The one thing it does do is it makes it, if you want the regular season to mean something, that's how you make it mean something.
Yeah.
There's no playoffs, just straight to the World Series. So that would be my one like pro. But for everything you said, the revenues, um, parity across the league, like I mean, because you think about like if you have, I mean, you see it even now where you have parity, you have more opportunity, but like what players want to go to Pittsburgh? What players want to go to Colorado?
Hmm.
I mean, there's not many. Like, I mean, free agents don't want to go there. And it's not, some of it has to do with ownership and other things. It's complicated, but um, if you're not competitive, and granted, back then you had the reserve clause, there wasn't free agency, so it definitely was a very different time. But you wouldn't. Why do you? Why would you? You wouldn't want to play there.
Yeah, there is an argument to be made
Mhm.
that it it doesn't necessarily make it so that, to your point about the value of the regular season. If you are like barely over 500 and you make the playoffs, does that, how does that contribute to determining the best team?
Right, like
Because
this year, you look at the Reds.
yeah,
So like the Mets were a really good team early on. They really struggled in the second half. Just generically, I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't do enough, and the Reds beat them out. But like, who's looking at the Reds going, yeah, that's a World Series team. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like generally there's not too many times when I look at a team in the playoffs and I'm like, this is dumb. But like this year it was. Like, I mean, and credit to, again, I don't want to take anything away from the Reds because they did what they needed to do to get in.
Yeah.
It wasn't their fault that the Mets were bad, but it just, the Reds were a non-competitive team in the playoffs.
Well, the Mets second half, they were a non-competitive team.
Yeah, but
It,
I mean, they have like real talent though. I mean, Lindor and Soto, and their
yeah.
pitching is crummy, but
Yeah. Well, and so this is where you get it, where you can get into some debates about, are we really honoring the best
mhm,
team, and are we taking away from um, the value of regular season games? And, with
mhm,
the expanded playoffs, they try to address that with buys and, that kind of thing. So
mhm,
it can be helpful. And ultimately, the Dodgers, who were one of the best teams, won the World Series. So, it's not like
mhm,
the Reds came through and won. But you can support that argument. I mean, really,
mhm,
you think back to 23, the
mhm.
Diamondbacks are a great example of
Yeah.
a team that got in with like 87 wins or whatever, and
Mhm.
they were just hot. And it
Well, I
was
mean,
exciting. It's
this
exciting,
this
but
happened in like 2011. The Cardinals snuck in, won the series.
yeah,
Um, I was thinking about the Rockies when they snuck in, and
yeah,
oh, I mean, in one sense, they just hot,
yeah.
snuck in and then just cruised through the playoffs, got swept in the series. But yeah, so it's baseball's such a weird sport too. It's like it's just so different. I my kind of personal feelings are I'm I like where we're at. Like I think six was a good number. Um, I feel like it adds more parity, it keeps teams competitive longer. Like you said, I mean, all but a handful of teams have legitimate, like, can see a path to the playoffs into August. So I think that's huge. And as a Mariners fan, we need all the opportunities we can get to get into the
Yeah.
playoffs and just say we've been there. I know that's you know piddly for Yankees and Red Sox fans, but look, that's our reality that we live in.
It sure is. And I'm glad we're not trying to have the best record in the AL right now, or
Mm,
the having that system really is, you're exactly right from the beginning. Like, how do you stay engaged as a fan or a player for 162 games if you're out of it by May?
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So what about you? Do you like where we're at? Do you think we should go back to like 5 or 4?
I think I like where we're at. I think I would like to see the thing I don't like about where we're at is the first round being best of three. I would love to see 5, 7, 7, 7. That's what I'd love to see, but
Hmm.
what we got is what we got. I think
Yeah.
when you go 3 game set, best of three, it's too much flukiness that can play into it, especially when you're talking about these teams that just barely snuck in.
Hmm.
It's hard to like stay hot and beat a team 3 times in a 5 game series. Not that hard to like you got one good pitcher and then you just gotta
Figure out a
get
way.
you
Hmm.
figure out a way in another game. So
Yeah.
that I don't love that aspect of the setup, but I
Hmm.
do like that there are more teams, so it creates more uh action, playoff vibes, excitement throughout the, second half of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, I think the 3 game is far superior to the 1 game playoff.
That's for
I mean,
sure.
so I would take, I mean, in one sense, it's like it's a 3 game series, and like you said, like when you play all these 3 game series over the course of 162, sometimes you just don't show up. I mean, and so I mean, that's the challenge thing with playoffs is like sometimes the regular season kind of doesn't matter. Like you just got to show, you got to get in there and you got to show up, play.
Yeah, one
So,
thing that is interesting to me that, as we talk about the value of the regular season, that I was just thinking about. I hadn't really thought about it before, but um, now that teams have more even schedules as far as like who they play and how often they play,
mhm,
um, I think it could be interesting to, in a sense, do away with divisions when it comes to playoff placement in particular.
mhm.
But you could theoretically do away with divisions in general, and
Just
go
top
just go,
six.
top six. I mean, we're talking at that point, we're talking NBA style,
Yeah. Well, but they
which
still have don't their conference winners still get automatic in, right? For each of the, you know, east, central, whatever, northwest and all that jazz.
I
Or
don't
no?
know. I don't know if that's true. I think it's just like East and West, and they, one
Hmm.
through 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so that's something where that could be a balance of you're putting more weight into the regular. Then also you got, if the two best records come from the AL East,
Mhm.
you don't have a 100 game winner in a wild card game. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the one thing I'll say regarding the NBA is NBA playoffs are, to me, it's a joke. 20 of 30 teams make the playoffs. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Where are you going to draw the line? Because clearly you haven't.
Well, they do have play-in. They
Well,
have
I know,
play-in.
but technically, when you get to the end of the
Yeah.
season, you could say number 10, yeah, we were a playoff team last year. That means 20 of the 2/3 of the
Yeah.
league makes the playoffs. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's not great. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, people love the NBA, I think. Maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
some people do.
I mean, a few. Um, and playoffs are exciting, but like to me, I feel like the NBA playoffs are way too much. It's way too much.
Yeah,
Everything's
I
seven
know.
game series. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that part of it is wild. Well, I mean, there's the play-in round, which is short.
Yes.
mercifully. But the rest, especially the first round, 7 games. Come on.
Well, if so, here's the thing: if you go 7 games in every round,
Hmm.
you just played an 82 game season, and now you're playing a whole nother third of a season.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What? I can't. I mean,
Don't get Aaron started on the
on
NBA.
NBA on the NBA playoffs, it's no. I mean, and it's been you've had 8 teams each league for it. Didn't it used? I feel like the first round used to be 5, best of 5. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, we're not talking about the NBA because it's baseball season. Well, it's not, but soon enough. So anyway, thanks for hanging with us for rant time. We'll be back at it for more rants sometime. Till next time. We'll see you.